been formed out of Papco and Childers metals, which are responsible for development of original metal jacketing in the 1950s. So we took over Papco and Childers in the year 1980, and then we renamed it as ITW Insulation Systems. Papco and Childers metal, they are majorly responsible for metal cladding systems, and we have other product lines as well, which is ITW Trimer, which is the polyisocyanurate, PIR. This is for the cold insulation. And we have Temperlite, that is perlite, which is another form of rock insulation, and majorly used for hot applications of around 650 degrees centigrade and above. This is not currently being offered in India. We have a plant in Malaysia and 5 other plants in all different parts of the globe. We have 2 plants in US and 1 in Canada, 1 in UAE. The Indian operations started in the year 2006, and the current offering is limited to the metal cladding as well. Corrosion of metal jacketing interior surface is a major potential problem. Many people across the power plants say that, when you use aluminium, we have not found significant corrosion and all, but all across North America, they have been using aluminium for ages, and they have found corrosion in aluminium as well. In fact, the problem is so severe near the coastal regions, wherein you use stainless steel also, which are specified by specifiers Black & Veatch, Sargent Lundy, all these major power plant specifiers. They have still found corrosion on stainless steel, type 304 and type 316. So corrosion is not very common. Corrosion is not unique to a particular metal. It can be seen in all the materials, including stainless steel. What I'm going to deliver the topic upon is not the corrosion under insulation, which is over the pipe. This is not the corrosion on the outer jacket surface as well, because outer jacket corrosion is very different from what I'm going to speak about. It is the corrosion between the insulation layer and the jacketing. So jacketing, the interior of jacketing corrodes severely due to some reasons which I'm going to speak about. So that is the topic today. And the best solution which I'm trying to propose is that using a 3 mil thick, that is 0.075 or 76 mm, polycerlin moisture barrier, which is heat laminated to the interior surface of metal jacketing, prevents this form of corrosion. And this form of moisture barrier has been used across major global specifiers such as Bechtel. You have Sargent Lundy, you have Black & Veatch. All those specifiers, they generally specify 3 mil thick polycerlin moisture barrier, apart from using other forms of moisture barrier as well. Now, we have tried to study this form of corrosion, and we have tried to create a synergy between the real world corrosion and the tests which have been conducted in the lab. Corrosion is a very difficult chapter because it cannot be measured specifically that, this amount of time you'll have this much of corrosion. It can't be measured by anything. So what we have done is, in order to prove that there is corrosion on the metal jacketing, we have done a lab test which is more consistent, and we have more manageable variance in that. So we can induce some variables into the lab test and then prove that there is a corrosion according to the corrosion size. And we try to then relate these results with the real world installations, which is very difficult to quantify because there are owners who are reluctant to share the information. There are owners who are not willing to publish the cause of corrosions and all. So we have tried to take data, whatever is present in the real world field, and then relate it to the lab science. So we began with the lab testing of interior jacket corrosion in the 1980s, and we have seen this. What we have done is, we have created a system which is very similar to the power plant insulation design. We have taken a carbon steel pipe with a fibrous insulation, and then wetted it with water, and covered the pipe, basically the insulation, with the jacketing, and with various forms of jacketing. And we have immersed it in electrolyte to accelerate the galvanic corrosion, what we believe in. And then we applied electric potential to it. Because whenever you apply electric potential, you are fastening the corrosion rate. So this corrosion rate is high whenever you have an electric potential into it. So we induced the electrical potential, and this test lasted for about 75 minutes to examine the underside of the metal jacketing after corrosion.